Boom! We are live. Estamos a rojo vivo. Had to push back this recording. I was in a meeting with my bro. He's gonna come down and visit your boy. He wants to visit Medallo. Le digo que es una chimba, parce, de una. Se va a poner bueno la cosa. So pretty excited for this trip. Had to knock out the last couple of details for the trip, but I could not end the night without having this live stream. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a very powerful concept, which is unconditional self love. Unconditional self love is something that I've never really thought about until I started maturing more as a man. I think it has to do a lot from my culture, being Mexican American, having a Latino background. I think in our culture, when it comes to the men, we really have to think more about the family, like what's going on around us. And a lot of times, this puts us in a position where we have to disregard our own feelings and what we actually feel inside. And that's not healthy because you always have to always think about yourself as well and see yourself as a center point of origin where you have unconditional love for yourself as well. Not just think about everyone around you. Actually sit down and analyze what do I want? What do I like? Am I showing myself the same love that I'm showing to the people around me? So as I started diving deeper into this, unconditional self-love has really resonated with helping me maximize every other area of my life. When it comes to making more money, when it comes to hitting the gym harder, when it comes to just leveling up my career and my emotions on a day-to-day basis, unconditional self-love has helped me with that. Because we all know that person that is always self-defeating. He doesn't feel good enough for maybe talking to a new girl, maybe getting a new job, elevating his career. He already has his mindset where he's not worthy of greater things. And a lot of this has to do with the way that we grow up, especially in our early years, like maybe 1 to 12. Those are the very formative years where the subconscious is developing programs in your mind. You got to think about it like, having a tech background, it's easy for me to think about it like this, but when you're creating a new software, when you're creating something new, in the beginning, you're installing the new programs, and those programs stay with that software for the continuation of its life cycle. So it's the same thing with us as kids. When you're a kid, your subconscious is barely being programmed. And around like the age of 7 or 8, those programs are solidified into your conscious. So it's very difficult going after that programming to uninstall bad subconscious programs. You have to actually go down in deep and remove certain programs from your subconscious. And if you grow up in an environment where you're constantly belittled, if people make you feel bad by the things that they say to you, or they make you feel inadequate, you carry those subconscious programs with you throughout your life. That's why environment is very, very crucial in the early stages of development. And this is where that unconditional self-love comes from. If you have a environment that empowers you, where you have parents that are nurturing, they support you, they are there for you, they foster your growth, then you develop healthier self-love. If you are in an environment where maybe one parent's not there, maybe both parents aren't there, maybe you don't have the best parents, then that can really lead to having difficulty in establishing this self-love for yourself, because you don't have the environment necessary to teach you that you are worth it, you are highly valuable, you can accomplish whatever you want. A lot of the things that we should naturally feel as humans, you never really got to see that because of your environment. So, what is unconditional self-love? Unconditional self-love just means that you are accepting and appreciating yourself fully without any conditions or judgments. It involves recognizing your intrinsic worth, regardless of your accomplishments or failures, and treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and respect. Unconditional self love is about embracing your true self, including your strengths and imperfections, and fostering a nurturing and supportive relationship with yourself. What are the main benefits of self love? When it comes to unconditional self love, it can profoundly impact various aspects of life, including fitness, muscle gain, financial gain, your self esteem, the relationships that you have with women, with other people, other men, and your overall well being. If we relate it to fitness and getting those gains in the gym, this will help you really increase your consistency and patience because unconditional self love helps you maintain a consistent fitness routine because you exercise out of love for your body rather than punishment. So you actually want to take care of your body. You see your body as a temple and you want to take care of it. This is what self love allows you to do. You're not doing it to look good for other people. You're not doing it for vanity. You're doing it because you're taking care of your temple, the temple that God gave you. And it also helps you be more patient with your progress and being understanding that this journey is going to take time. It also gives you healthy motivation because instead of being driven by guilt or external pressures from maybe that girl that rejected you, or you don't feel adequate or you don't feel good enough because you're not in shape, you're doing it mostly out of a genuine desire to take care of yourself and your body. So this just leads to healthier choices and sustainable habits for the long term. When it comes to making more money, it increases your self-worth and your confidence because believing in your inherent worth boosts your confidence to pursue better career opportunities. It also gives you the confidence to ask for raises in your current place of work. And it also gives you like that ability to take risks and maybe start your own business. If you believe in yourself and you have that self-love that, okay, this is going to be a risk that I'm going to take, but it's something that I know that I can potentially be successful at, you're willing to take that risk easier, a lot easier. And it also helps with your risk taking and resilience because unconditional self love just fosters resilience and a willingness to take calculated risks. You view failures as learning opportunities rather than reflections of your worth. So I never had a problem with this really, but I've always back when I was in high school and I was in AP classes, a lot of like the top kids in my class were scared to take risks. They did not want to fail. They just wanted to make sure that they were getting straight A's on everything. So they didn't want to take a risk when it came to maybe signing up for a sport. They didn't want to risk. They didn't want to get into like a relationship in high school because they didn't want that to affect their grades. Or I'm trying to think of a good example. Like they were very cautious of how they proceeded forward because they didn't want anything to risk their their strict, like their very like strict mindset on getting straight A's. So they didn't do anything outside the box. They weren't creative. They were just like, okay, I gotta get straight A's. I gotta follow the rules. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. And that's the way that they push forward. And I always thought to myself, like they never took any risks. They weren't creative. They didn't really have to using their imagination too much. They're just like, okay, I'm gonna follow orders and that's it. And when you have that self-love, it's like you're willing to take those risks. You're not scared of taking risks. If you want to start your own business, entrepreneurship is very risky. You're willing to take those risks because you know that there's a huge upside, and also because you believe in yourself and your self-worth. You believe in your abilities, and you're confident that you could potentially make some bigger shit happen. So this tremendously helps you with making more money because now you just believe in yourself and you know that you're worth more in your career. Also, with your personal self-esteem, it helps by increasing your positive self-image. This is something that we talked about in a previous video. I'll probably link it down in the description below. But unconditional self-love strengthens your self-esteem by helping you appreciate your unique qualities and accomplishments. You are less likely to compare yourself to others or seek external validation. It helps with your self-compassion because you treat yourself with kindness during difficult times, reducing negative self-talk and fostering a healthier mental state. So, man, I've been guilty of this back when I was younger. Like, if I fucked up somehow, like one time I remember I was like around 21 and I got a flat tire. And when that happened, I was beating myself up the whole time because I didn't have a spare tire. So I had to call a tow truck to come get my car, get it out of the freeway, and take it to a mechanic where I could change the tire. But I remember like that whole process, I was just beating myself up. I was having like this negative self-talk with myself where like I was thinking to myself, like, man, like what's wrong with you? You should have had a spare tire. This could have easily been avoided. But as I look at it in hindsight, like that was the first time that that's ever happened to me. I was 21, I was a young guy, and I shouldn't have beaten myself up that much. Like it's perfectly natural that these things happen. Murphy's law is gonna happen where shit's gonna go out of plan, and you're just gonna have to solve it. But it doesn't help beating yourself up and giving yourself this negative self-talk that just makes the situation worse. So having self-compassion is powerful, especially in difficult times when shit hits the fan, you don't know how you're going to get out of a situation. That self-compassion and that self-love is going to just remind you that, okay, you're human, you're having a human experience, and now let's put that aside and figure out the best logical solution for this situation. It also helps with attracting better quality relationships. This is a big one when it comes to dating because it helps you increase healthy boundaries. When you know your worth, it allows you to set and maintain healthy boundaries for yourself, ensuring that your relationships are respectful and mutually fulfilling. I've seen a lot of guys out there, man, that they get with girls that disrespect them in public. And that's one of the biggest red flags that you can have in a relationship when you're being disrespected, when your boundaries are being crossed. That's a big red flag. And when you have self-love, you know your worth. You know that, especially if you've been hitting the gym, leveling yourself up, leveling up your career, making more money, making more networking with other like-minded men. If you're a woman, also with like-minded women, professionals. When you know your worth, you have healthier boundaries for yourself. When you have that self-love, because now you know that, okay, like I wouldn't talk to myself like that. So why am I going to let someone else talk to me like that? And this just really empowers you in relationships because you set those boundaries, and it also gives you stronger frame. It increases your authenticity. Unconditional self-love encourages you to be more authentic, your more authentic self, attracting people who appreciate and love you for who you truly are. And that's a big one because it's easy to fake it, especially nowadays on social media. You're given this light into the world of who you want them to see you as. But when you have that self-love and you know your worth, you know who you are, at the end of the day, you're always going to keep loving yourself. You present yourself in a more authentic way to the world. And this is something that I've been noticing lately, is that you start attracting higher quality relationships as well. It could be romantic or it can just be professional relationships where by showing your authentic self, you're gravitating people that are like-minded to you, that are like-minded to your true self. They're not being pulled by a fake version of you. And like we mentioned, from social media that easily allows you to portray this view of yourself to the world. You're actually bringing in really more authentic people into your orbit. So having this self-love really allows you to show that off the correct way. And it just increases your overall well-being because it helps with reducing your stress. Loving yourself unconditionally reduces your stress and anxiety because you're less likely to be harsh on yourself or feel pressure to meet unrealistic standards that are not part of your goals or your missions. Now you're living true to yourself, you're authentic, and you care about yourself in a more positive light. And with your overall life satisfaction, you experience greater contentment and joy in life as you appreciate the present moment on yourself or and are more grateful for who you are and what you have. So this one's something that I've been resonating with a lot lately, where I feel a lot more satisfied with my life. I feel a lot more content where I am in life because when you live authentically, you have the self love, you get to enjoy the little things a lot more. Like, you know who you are, you know what you stand for. And if someone likes it, cool. If they don't like it, they can take it or leave it. But you, at the end of the day, are going to keep it 100 with yourself. You're going to keep it real with yourself at all times. So you know who you are. And this just gives you a different level of power because now you can really appreciate and move through the world in a genuine way. You can enjoy every single moment because you're living true to yourself. So, some great ways that you can implement unconditional self love is you can have daily affirmations where you can start each day with positive affirmations, just reinforcing your worth and your abilities. You can have phrases like, I'm worthy of self respect. I'm worthy of having great relationships in my life. I'm worthy of achieving my goals. I'm worthy of making more money. You can write all these down on a piece of paper. I have a journal here where I write all of my affirmations down. And every morning while you're having your coffee, just recite them to yourself or just read them quickly. It doesn't have to take more than 5 minutes. Just go through them quickly. And you'll notice that this really sets a positive tone for the rest of your day. And now you feel empowered because you're just reinforcing that you believe in yourself. Another way is that you can have self-care practices where you prioritize self-care by engaging in activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. This could include regular exercise, healthy eating, meditation, hobbies, getting adequate rest, like actually getting a good night's sleep. But other ways could be like practicing yoga. What I like to do is I like to go to the pool, relax, pop in my headphones, maybe pop in the Audible, hit the sauna, and just relax, man. Like, take care of my body. Also, massages are big for recovery, where you're showing your body that you care for it and you're showing your appreciation for it. All of the hard work that you put in the gym by rewarding it with a massage. And then also forgiving yourself. So practicing self-forgiveness by letting go of past mistakes and understand that they do not define your worth. Just learning from them and moving forward with compassion. So this is something that I struggled with when my dad passed away because I was very young when my dad passed away, and it was very abrupt. And I feel like there was a lot of things that were left unsaid in the relationship that I had with my dad, and I wish that I still had the opportunity to talk to him about those things, but unfortunately he passed away, and it left a void inside of me because I felt like I never got to get that resolve with him because of it. My dad was a badass man, and I love him to death. But I just still wish that we would have had more conversations, especially now that I'm a mature man. But at some point, you always have to forgive yourself because, like for me, I've felt a little bit of, I would say, a bit of regret that we didn't get to finish, have those last conversations or resolve a couple of things. And there was a little bit of regret where I was kind of beating myself up because of that. But after understanding this concept a lot more, I realized that you have to forgive yourself. No one's perfect. We're all having human experiences. The person that you were when you were 15, 20, 25 is not the same person that you are now. And things change, people change. There's a great quote that I like that says that you never walk into the same river twice, meaning that we change. That's the purpose of life's evolution. And understanding that empowers you to just forgive yourself for situations where you might have maybe some regret, or you might have made a past mistake. So this is very empowering because it really lifts a weight off of your back when you forgive yourself. Also, setting boundaries where you establish and maintain healthy boundaries in your personal and professional life. This is going back to the example with the guy that's getting disrespected by his girl in public. This involves saying no to things that drain your energy or compromise your values. And yes, the things that align with your well-being. So as you start maturing, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to learn to say no to, and things that you have to say yes to. This is going to save you a lot of time, energy, money, a lot of headaches in the process. When you set those boundaries for yourself and you say no to things that drain your energy, yeah, bro, you just save a lot of headaches, man. And it could be from relationships, it can be from other people. Like I've had family members that they say that that blood's thicker than water, but I think that's bullshit, man. Like some of my best friends are not related to me, and some of the people in my family have made my life a lot more difficult than it really has to be because they just drain your energy, bro. They're energy vampires. I have really close relatives where some of them we don't even talk anymore, and maybe that was the best scenario because they're very draining, man. Like they just after a conversation with them, you just feel drained. And those type of people you don't really want in your life because they're not helping you advance forward. They're fucking up your mental health, and they're not empowering you. You want to have people that empower you. So setting those boundaries is very helpful. That if someone doesn't meet your boundaries, you got to cut them off. It's just part of it. You have to cut them off because if you don't cut them off, they're gonna drag you down with them. And then finally, celebrating your achievements. So regularly acknowledging and celebrating your own achievements, no matter how small, that just reinforces a positive self-image and motivates you to continue striving for your goals. So it doesn't matter if you make a layup, if you swim a couple laps, you meet a new PR in the gym, you go up to approach a girl, maybe get her Instagram, whatever it is, celebrate every single fucking win because you're putting the reps in, and that's powerful. You're taking those risks, you're taking those chances, and that's the definition of a winner, someone who's willing to risk failure to accomplish their goals. So celebrate your achievements because it's just gonna keep reinforcing you to do it. Like you're gonna be like, all right, I just met this milestone. I'm gonna go out, maybe go out on a date with a cute girl that I met. Like one thing I like to do, man, I like to go celebrate with my boys. Like whenever, like if I get a promotion, if I do something that's worthy in my book, I like to go celebrate with my boys. Like go to the club and maybe get a couple bottles. I'm saying get some girls, and we have a good time because I deserved it. Like I put in the work. It's not like I'm just here every weekend and just doing it just to do it. because I actually put in the work and I'm putting in those reps. So celebrate your achievements. And it's even better if you celebrate it with people that you admire, people that you enjoy being around, maybe friends, maybe a special girl that you like. It's always very powerful to celebrate those achievements. So by embracing unconditional self love, you create a solid foundation for achieving your goals in every aspect of life, in the gym, with your fitness goals, your financial success, in your career, personal self esteem, with your relationships, whether it's with other men or a special lady, and just your overall satisfaction in life. It empowers you to live authentically, your real self, because you love yourself. You have that unconditional self love. And it also helps you pursuing your passions and maintaining a balanced and fulfilled lifestyle. So there you have it. I hope this video was helpful. It's a bit longer than I expected, but there was a lot of key points here that I really wanted to drill in here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button. Also, smash that subscribe button. I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay strong, always love yourself, and keep on conquering. You got this. Peace.